So late in the afternoon on October 24th of 1871, Officer Bill Durain, who was one of only a half a dozen police officers in town, was walking with a friend, Robert Thompson, who was a former bar owner. They were walking through the Chinese Quarter, less than 50 feet probably from where I am. So Officer Bill Durain and Robert Thompson went over to one of the buildings, the Coronel Adobe, that had been occupied by exclusively by Chinese stores and residents. They could hear the shooting going on inside, so Bill Durain, and he had already been slightly wounded, so he said, "Stay away, get out of there." But Robert Thompson, not quite a town drunk, but he had been a bar owner, but he hung around all the bars and bordellos. He stepped into one of the doorways of the Coronel Adobe where the shooting was going on. He reached in and he fired off a shot, and the return fire wounded him mortally. He was carried off, and maybe an hour later he died. So he got hit around 6 p.m., and he died at 7. But in the intervening hour, while he was being attended to, the alarm went out that Chinese were shooting whites. So that roused the local population. So they came to the Chinese Quarter on Negro Alley, Calle de los Negros, and grabbed Chinese who they could find and said, well, let's string them up. It was a whole cross-section of people, from local business or shop owners to even some town officials. There were other officials who tried to intervene. They stopped, tried to say, well, no, you can't do that. So there was a lot of conflict as to what should be done. But there were clearly a lot of people who really wanted to just grab every Chinese and haul them off and hang them. One of the first people to be hung was this Dr. Chi Lung Tong. Dr. Tong was a well-respected herb doctor and a labor contractor. Quite a few who were cooks who were grabbed and hauled off and hung at Tomlinson's Corral or at Goler's wagon shop, just maybe a couple of blocks away. Some were just beaten in the street. Out of the number of casualties, 15 were hung and 3 were beaten to death or shot. One was a 15-year-old boy. Some of the workers had just arrived from San Francisco or from China. So they were new arrivals and really had nothing to do with, they were just innocent victims. All were male, no women. And it occurred in a matter of a couple of hours between 6 o'clock and 9 o'clock on the night of October 24th in 1871.